All right, my friends, get a load of this one from the College Fix. A lecture scheduled for next month at Columbia College in Chicago will examine the topic of, quote, whiteness in decline, and look at how white's current social position has led to a, quote, resurgence of white supremacy. The lecture, titled Whiteness in Decline, the Emotional Politics of White Nationalist Resurgence, will take place April 12th and include a presentation from Professor Paula Ioannidis of Ithaca College in New York. Ioannidis' remarks will touch on the, quote, imagined and real losses and entitlements white Americans have come to expect, and the ways these connect to the resurgence of white nationalism, unquote, according to an online description of the event. Quote, Ioannidis argues that the reactionary emotional politics of white nationalism indicate both the precarious structure of white domination and the effectiveness of racial justice movements, unquote, a flyer for the event states. Ioannidis, a professor of comparative race and ethnicity studies, did not respond to the College Fix's request for comment regarding her upcoming talk, unquote. So, my friends, here it is. This is Howard Riell, Real Truth, by the way. When you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail, right? So here's this chick, Ioannidis, professor of comparative race and ethnicity studies. So she's going to see the whole galaxy in terms of race and ethnicity. My friends, one thing there is no shortage of in 21st century America is race and ethnicity studies. We study race, racial division, racial relationships, ethnicity to death. And it's a toxic pursuit. Human beings are human beings, period. More important things to focus on than the color of your epithelial tissue. As far as whiteness and white supremacy, you've got to give me a break. Everybody, including white people, see, white, I'm white, realize that white supremacists are dirtbags. We realize they are the lunatic fringe. So you think as non-white people gain in political momentum that white people are going to suddenly embrace white supremacy? It's an idiotic premise, which is precisely what I would expect from an upstate New York college professor of ethnic and racial issues. It's nonsense. It's garbage. Forget about whiteness, forget about blackness, forget about anything elseness. We are Americans. On a larger stage, we're humans. We are one race. Just one. And we've got to get along with each other or else. It's Thursday. Real Truth. Be right back. And speaking of a country tearing itself apart, that's what we've got on our hands here in 21st century America. Once again, it's Howard Riell and it's Real Truth. Here's a colleague of mine, Rush Limbaugh, talking about something that is symptomatic of a country tearing itself apart. California liberals, well, just defying all logic and all intelligence and insisting on protecting criminals and making life more dangerous for plain old ordinary law-abiding citizens. Couldn't happen in America, you say? Well, you're right. It's not happening in America. It's happening in California. Ah, my friends, didn't we just hear about white supremacy in the opening segment? Yes, we did. What a coincidence. Well, that's brainless. He's taking criminals. Whether it's this crime or that crime doesn't matter. He's taking criminals and good riddance to them. Wait a minute, a president and an attorney general that is? Is English this guy's fourth or fifth language? Number one. Number two, just by coincidence, and you know, this burns me up, my friends, just by coincidence, most of the people out there defending the right of Latinos to come to the country illegally are Latino. Does that tell you anything, or does it only tell me something? So this guy's got his head up his butt like so many people on TV these days. It doesn't get to the heart of the issue, which is Americans, stupid Americans, increasingly coming to feel that the laws can be ignored. Well, I love it when they say that's not who we are. If you believe laws can simply be ignored, then you are not part of we. You are the other, and you are welcome to drag your ass out of here. We'll be back.
And of his fullness we have all received, and grace for grace. For the law was given through Moses, but grace and truth came through Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ. No one has seen God at any time. The only begotten Son, who is in the bosom of the Father, he has declared him. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 16. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessing of liberty for ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution. Using the pocket money, the drug problem is well done. You know our kids will be appropriate. We want to applaud the United Committee who had served the notion. They provide examples to the youth and families to be the best they can be. That's from the blocker line located at 376 Grand Street in Illinois. Serving our area since 1943, specializing in natural life HD and sport and complete of the process. All particularly at 2040 that 303 continue 2240. Piccolos restaurant in Denver, money. There were 750,000 children who reported missing on it. Over 58,000 of these were affected by non-family members. Keep an eye out for youngsters at play. If you see any instances, contact the authorities immediately. It's specific for Piccolos restaurant in Denver. It's not only specific for it's the people who care. Give them a call at 303-757-5166. 303-757-5166. Piccolos.
All right, guys, here's the thing, and it's a major thing. You've heard of the swamp, right? And you've heard of Donald Trump. He has pledged to drain the swamp, and he has thus far done a fantastic job of draining the swamp. But the swamp goes on forever and ever, so it's going to be a pursuit that he's involved with for as long as he's in the White House, another 7 years. Kimberly Strassel was speaking at Hillsdale College, and she asked the question, can the swamp be drained? Can the swamp be drained? Can we get rid of political corruption? Let's listen to what she had to say.
Our next speaker is becoming a regular at Hillsdale College events. Kimberly Strassel is a member of the editorial board of the Wall Street Journal, where she writes editorials as well as the weekly Toys Watch column. She began her career in the news department at the Wall Street Journal Bureau, first in Brussels and then in London. Later in New York, she joined the journal's editorial page, assuming that position in 2005. Recipient of the 2014 Bradley Prize, she has the biggest focus on a lone voice of race and recognitions. As President Hart mentioned, she spent 2 weeks as president on the Hillsdale campus in the fall of 2013 as a Napoleon Journalism Fellow. In addition to her top-notch journalism, she is the author of the national bestseller, The Intimidation Game: How the Left is Silencing Free Speech. She gave a talk on that subject last year at the college's Cookie Center, which we're pleased to publish in Imprimis. She's been writing a lot lately about the subject of her talk tonight, The Need to Drain the Swamp, this month in Washington, D.C. All I can say is, guys, keep up. Delighted she's here with us once again. Please welcome Kimberly Strassel.
Well, first of all, I want to thank Tim and Dr. for such a nice introduction. I particularly like Larry's listening with words. Larry said it's great with the child. What he means is I like the USS Enterprise giving a speech in front of Hillsdale. It was funny when he mentioned that. I remember he just talked to my another, who's the amazing guy who runs the journal.
Yeah, let's get to the important part, shall we, Kim?
When I saw what Hillsdale actually wanted me to speak about tonight, that one sentence, political corruption, swamp and drain, I did have a brief internal giggle and thought that I could make this a very short evening. Come up here with the one-word answer that everyone is expecting and then head straight to cocktails. But one of the problems, of course, with being a conservative is that you are a form optimist and that it is our job to solve problems. And so the answer is yes, the swamp can be drained. But I think what everyone needs to understand is that this is not something that's going to be a small or inconsequential endeavor. It's going to take a long time. And to do it, we first have to define what we mean by the swamp and what we mean by corruption. Because I think one of the problems that we have these days is that the definition of that has been defined right to extremes. On one side, we have a group of people that still have a dictionary definition of public corruption. And when we think of it in that terms, we tend to think of fraud, usually perpetrated for some sort of self-benefit, either for power or for money. And while I wouldn't say that those things don't happen anymore these days, they're pretty rare. Only in that we've actually come up with a lot of laws, anti-bribery laws, campaign finance laws, transparency laws that are designed to guard against such obvious things like the teapot dome scandal, Carnegie Hall, or criminal excesses in the leasing of research. On the other end, we tend to have people, mostly commentators, whose definition of corruption is anything that they don't like in politics whatsoever. seeing in DC is a new type of everyday and delicious corruption. And it comes, in my mind, from, as many things do, the new partisan environment that we live in DC, in which all that matters to people is that they win. And so all the norms, all the rules, all the regulations, all the things that you think ought to have applied to you, they don't think apply to them anymore. All that matters is coming out on top. And that's the kind of corruption that now pervades Washington on a regular basis. It's what I call regular corruption. And nowhere did this corruption flourish more than in the past administration, which infused the federal government with a whole new level of partisanship. And moreover, managed to make a whole tens of thousands of foreign bureaucrats who we know from polls that we've done and surveys we've done tend to share the ideological inclinations of the past administration. Brought them along with it, and we did have a new level of everyday corruption. So let's go through what actually passes that. In my mind, one of the most common forms of corruption we've seen, especially over the past few years, is blatant regulatory excess. I'm not talking here about rules with which we disagree. The executive branch is charged with significant powers of interpreting laws, coming up with regulations, many of which people on the conservative side and the liberal side might not support. And they're done within the general outlines of the law, something you live with as a consequence of an election. What I'm talking about here are rules that the people who put out outright knew contravened federal law, outright admitted that they did not have the power to put together, and nonetheless went ahead for them. To me, in my mind, knowingly breaking the law is a form of corruption. When Barack Obama ran for the presidency in 2008, he put out a list of the top things he wanted to accomplish legislatively, and on his list was a carbon cap-and-trade program. And he acknowledged that to do this, he would need to put it through Congress. And they tried. In 2009, Democrat State Representative Ed Markey actually passed a bill through the House that was done. It never made it through the Senate. It never had a chance of making it through the Senate. I wrote about carbon policy for a long time. There were never more than maybe 30 or 42 votes to ever get something like this in the Senate. And yet, rather than admit defeat, the president turned to his EPA and instructed them to create the exact same program that he was trying to put through legislatively. They knew that they didn't have the authority to do so. And by the way, to show how little authority they did deem to have that, it wasn't within a few months of it being passed that the courts had already halted it, and ultimately the Supreme Court put a stop on it. The Supreme Court was actually pretty busy during the Obama administration. It overruled him on major portions of Obamacare. It overruled him on key portions of his immigration policy. It overruled him on search and seizure rules and the First Amendment on public corruption cases. Some of you may know the Cato Institute's Ernest Young. He's a scholar there. And in April of 2016, he noted that the Obama administration had lost more times in front of the Supreme Court than any other former president. By 2016, he had a collective win rate in front of the Supreme Court of 45%. Now, some of you might think, well, you win one, you lose one. But that's still a standard we hold for personal injury lawyers. Okay? The President of the United States, we hold them to a higher level. It is, after all, their duty. They put their hand up and promise to faithfully execute the office of the presidency, which includes faithfully executing our laws. Ronald Reagan's win rate was 75%. George H.W. Bush's was 70%. George W. Bush's was 60%. By the way, that's only because he was stuck by tradition, having to defend some of the things that the Clinton administration stuck him with, and their term, which by the way, their final term was a win rate of 35% of the Supreme Court. Now, at least some of the things that the Supreme Court were overruling were just regulatory actions. They're the other form of corruption, another form of corruption in Washington that we all have to use, which is, of course, executive orders. Again, like us as Washington did over the last few weeks over the status of triggers. This came about because the President Obama decided to put forward his DACA program, which suspended the law for this entire category of people, 1.8 million people at least. He had already put out at least 2 pages and said that he didn't have the authority to do this, that he needed Congress to move in order to make it happen. And yet, nonetheless, when Congress didn't move, he issued an executive order. And that's just the beginning of some of the executive orders. Here's one of my favorite ones. Again, it gives you a sense of what we're talking about in terms of corruption at the highest levels. In January 2012, the Senate was taking a 3-day break between sessions. They were not in recess. President Obama, nonetheless, unilaterally declared that a separate branch of government was in recess and used that time to appoint 3 individuals to the National Labor Relations Board. These are people that the unions wanted him to appoint. They were supporters during the campaign. And in keeping, as I said, with the win any cost mentality, he decided that he would intervene in a separate branch of government to declare when they were going to recess. He was sued ultimately, and in 2014, the Supreme Court wrote a 9-0 decision. Okay, unanimously. By the way, he lost even his own Supreme Court appointees. Overruled him in this scathing decision, the essence of which was essentially, you don't appoint me to do this. What are you thinking? And I think that's the point. It's one thing for scholars, for academics, to have a debate about fuzzy points of the law. It's an entirely different thing for administration to adopt the mindset that you're going to put forward executive orders that you know how to do, and then wait for the Supreme Court to police you. Because that was one of the great innovations of the Obama administration, is that they understood that you can go ahead and do these things, but it will take a long time for anyone to catch up to you.
My friends, you've heard me say this on this show many times. Catch me if you can. We live in the era in which politicians do what the hell they want to do, and if you don't like it, you consume, and 2 or 3 years down the road, maybe someone will object. She's absolutely right. Barack Obama knowingly broke the law, which means he's a criminal. If you're waiting for justice to visit Mr. Obama, you better get a comfortable chair, something to read, because it's going to be a while. But she's right. Catch me if you can. That's the way, well, I won't use the word scumbags, but okay, that's the way scumbags do things.
There's no immediate remedy when the president issues an executive order that the patent is illegal. When his administration issues regulations that the patent is illegal. You have to wait for the courts to catch up. By the way, even when they do catch up, you've already accomplished your goal. And I think that's a really good example, the one I just quoted from the National Labor Relations Board.
My friends, this is akin to putting lies out on the airwaves, knowing that, yeah, a day or two from now, the truth will come out and show that you were lying. But until then, people hear it and it registers. It's the same approach. It's dishonest. It's disgusting. In some cases, like Mr. Obama, it's criminal. And it's also the specialty of Democrat politicians. So if you've been voting Democrat, you've been voting to help criminals and liars, to say nothing of supporters of terror. Nice job, Democrat voters. Let's take a break. And as usual, you know the drill by now. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tom Phillips, founder of the Riell. How many times have you gone into a health food store and are confused as to the many different brands and prices of the same herbal supplements? You want to buy the cheapest, but you're afraid that quality is less, so you buy the most expensive. Truth is, the cheapest may be better. Green Herb Herbal Supplements are all manufactured in our Wheat Ridge, Colorado plant at 4565 Kickley Street using the highest quality herbs that we source from all over the world. Our 150 different herbal supplements are the most potent and your money back, no time limit, just return the bottle empty or full, no questions asked. So when you come to our new location, look for our new name and get this help. Or call us at 888-765-HERB. That's 888-765-4372.
Do not believe every spirit, but trust the spirit, which they are taught, because many false prophets have gone into the world. Like a real test of the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesses that Yeshua Jesus has come in the flesh is of God, and every spirit that does not confess that Yeshua Jesus has come in the flesh is not of God. And this is the spirit of the Antichrist, which you have already heard, and is now already in the world. 1 John 4:1.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. Not all men are created equal. That they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. That among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just power from the consent of the governed. This is the American News Network. Chaplain Colonel, these students are emergency first responders with their professional and free. The women put their lives on the line for those who feel their own thing. So let's all take the time to thank our first responders for all they do for us. Also thanking our veterans for the sacrifice they made for our freedom. This message is for Chaplain Colonel LLC, the key location in Denver and Fort Collins. Serving the community for over 13 years. Visit them online at chapelcollins.com. If catastrophe struck, will your family be prepared? Are you confident you won't react in a panic? Is there one place to get all of your emergency supplies? Pepper Survival encourages you to have confidence through preparation. Panic through Christ. Pepper Survival, located at 3366 South Broadway, is a professional, reputable, full-service business providing quality real estate preparedness supplies at an affordable price. Go online, stop by, or call 303-781-0343. Pepper Survival.
My friends, if I had started my first show almost 10 years ago talking about liberal hypocrisy and just kept on going till I was exhausted, till the topic had been all used up, I'd still be talking. Tucker Carlson was on Fox News last night talking about liberal hypocrisy. Here's the latest chapter.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson tonight. For his own devices.
So my question, my friends, is this. I'm sorry, Tucker. This chick, the mayor of Oakland, warned these illegals that the ICE agents were coming, and so they scrammed. Then they committed crimes. Shouldn't the mayor of Oakland be held as an accomplice on these crimes? Absolutely. She's so committed to being a law-abiding citizen that she warns criminals to run before the cops get there. Isn't she law-abiding? It's just a pleasure. And so it didn't come through official channels. And so if one of these lowlives murders someone, I guess that victim isn't really dead because the information didn't come through official channels. And if this mayor's daughter gets raped, well, she wasn't really raped because the warning, the notice that the ICE agents were coming, didn't come through through official channels. You're getting the liberal logic here, right, my friends?
Obligation of residents do not have an obligation to open their doors if an ICE official knocks.
Now, here's what this bitch is doing. She's pandering to her base, a lot of Latinos, a lot of people who want to protect the illegals. And so she's breaking the law and defying federal authorities just because getting elected will put money in her pocket and power in her hand. So the hell with the city, the hell with the people, the hell with the country. As long as she benefits, she's happy. That's my definition for a real piece of dirt.
Joe Eliotto Vernice is an attorney. He's running for San Francisco DA. He joins us. Thanks for coming up. Yeah, you're welcome. So, two of these guys were wife beaters. What would you say to their wives? Two of the guys were arrested. One of the guys has been convicted. That is correct. And the other has been charged subsequently for physically abusing his spouse after they revoked or allowed him to flee detention. So his wife was injured, according to police. What would you say to her?
This guy is obviously a liberal because Tucker Carlson asked him a direct question and he won't answer. Tucker Carlson asked him a direct question and he's sliming out of it like a weasel. Tucker Carlson asked him a question. Instead of answering it, he's posing a different question, my friends. That is what a liar does. It's what a slime bag does. It's what a Democrat does.
Right? So if there is a lawful order to keep somebody or to hand somebody over to ICE, there is no evidence that any sanctuary city in the world, or in the United States rather, has not followed through with that lawful order. ICE is following up with these detention orders that are called detainers. And the problem is that these detainers are voluntary. They're not lawful orders. And so it's a little inflammatory to say that detaining these people is lawful orders are doing better coordination between the sheriffs, the police, and yeah, this is you're not describing what actually happened. What happened is the mayor of Oakland warned people, affirmatively warned them so they could evade detention by federal immigration authorities. Three of them, at least, wanted to come out of their cars. One of them beat his wife. And so, among the many questions like that is, what would you say to her? She wouldn't have been beaten to the mayor of Oakland hadn't done that. There is no evidence that these people actually received information that the mayor put out. There were 800 people that they were looking.
My friends, this is a weasel answer. It's a politician answer. Quite frankly, it's a lawyer answer. He's trying to hide behind technicalities. He won't answer a direct question. He won't focus on the issue. He's a weasel. He's a snotbag. He'll do well in politics, especially in California.
Looking for
232 were actually arrested. Now, I served on the Fugitive Recovery Enforcement Team for the City and County of San Francisco when I was with the police department. And 30% is really good. I mean, you would ask anybody that is on.
Excuse me, schmuck. I would say 100% is really good. I would say less than 100% means people aren't doing their jobs as well as they could.
Would that be your answer? Would that be the answer to the wife? It's not. There's no evidence they heard what the mayor said. I mean, the truth is, the mayor did warn these people. Whether they heard that or not, you're right, we don't know. But is that the risk we're willing to take? I mean, we don't think of it. They committed crimes. They would have been detained but not for Libby Schaaf. That's something you're happy to defend? No. What you're defending is due process. Everybody is entitled to.
No, you're not defending due process. You're running for office and you're defending your right to get rich and powerful.
The 14th Amendment, unfortunately for ICE, says that, even people that are here unlawfully are entitled to due process. That's the mayor put up with the question, which is it really? So she warns them, and she says, flee so you don't get caught. She has no legal or moral obligation to do that. She did that for political reasons, and this is the effect. People got away and committed other crimes. It's not about due process. It's about should elected officials be warning people so they don't get arrested by the feds. That's the same as people would say. You don't think it is?
The better question is, what a piece of garbage this guy is. He won't answer a direct question. My friends, let's take it to your own lives. When you ask someone a question and they won't answer it, what does it mean? What does it mean? You've got good common sense. If you're listening to Real Truth, you've got good common sense. When you ask someone a question repeatedly and they won't answer it, it means they're hiding something. Well, let's blow it up a little bit. The Democrats won't answer direct questions because if they did, they would have to tell you that what they want to do, their policies, their programs, are losers. And so they will also always divert, always deflect. They will never answer a direct question. And it makes me sick. Now, we're about to hit a commercial. Maybe I'll go puke or something, but go online, watch this entire interview from yesterday, from the Tucker Carlson show. This guy running for, DA in Oakland, I think. What a slime ball. What a weaselly, lying politician. And my friends, I've said it before, I'll say it again. If you vote Democrat, this is what you are handing the reins of power to. So get smart. We'll be back.
We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. He was in the world was made through him. The world did not know. He came to his own, and his own did not receive him. But as many as received him, to them he gave the right to become children of God, to those who believe in his name, who were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 10 through 13. The American Freedom Network is not funded or supported by special interest groups or government programs. The American Freedom Network is not sponsored by advertisers demanding content or programming control. The American Freedom Network is solely funded by you, the listeners. Please help keep the American Freedom Network on the air by purchasing one of our sponsors' fine products or by calling 1-800-205-245 to make a donation. The American Freedom Network needs your help. American Window Tinting Incorporated in Freytown reminds parents, keep an eye on your child while shopping. Children tend to stray or become lost. This poses an opportunity for would-be abductors. Please make every effort to keep track of your little one at all times. If you have information regarding a lost child, call local authorities at once. This message is from American Window Tinting Incorporated in Freytown. For residential or commercial window tinting, call 303-263-4228.
My friends, I want to revisit one of the videos we've already played today. I got three great candidates, Rush Limbaugh, Tucker Carlson, or the woman who is speaking at Hillsdale, Kimberly Strassel. I could go back to any of them, but do this. I'll put them on my Facebook page, Real Truth Radio. You go there, you watch them, you share them, you talk to people about them. In the meantime, let's close with, talking about liberal Californians destroying America. We'll go back to Rush Limbaugh.
Which is that you are violating the law. And here again, they want you to believe it's because they care about you. They don't care about people. They're not doing this. The sanctuary city movement is not because they care about people. It is not because they care about national, maybe because they want the progressive, but it's not because they
No, it's California, Governor Moonbeam. It's California going to war against the people of California and the legal system of the United States. That's the truth. You won't hear it from the governor of California, but you hear it from me.
What does Fox News have to do with it? What in the name of Sam Hill does Fox News have to do with it? Did I tell you they will not engage on the issue? He came out there as a lawmaker. He came out there. Sessions arrived as a law enforcement officer. And he said it's not going to stand anymore. California, time is up. You are not going to continue to get away with breaking the law. What does Fox News have to do with it? See, they don't engage on the issue. Governor Brown thinks this is a great polemic because that will organize and unify the people in the state, because ostensibly they all hate Fox News. Basically going to war against the state of California? Well, I hadn't looked at it that way, but if he wants to, we have more guns than you do, because you got half your guns you've been thrown away. Half your guns you've been taken away from people in a war. And that takes me to what I find eerie about all of this. The eerie similarities to a period long ago in American history. Welcome back, folks. It's great to have you with us. Much good off to a rousing start today, because every start is rousing, and the EIP network. This reminds me of an eerie time in American history. There's so many analogies I can make. I can see Jerry Brown as Lester Maddox and George Wallace in reverse. I can see the state of California as a slave state, wishing to exist in violation of federal law. California as the equivalent of a slave state versus the United States. The United States attempting to preserve the Union. Donald Trump is attempting to preserve the Union, preserve the borders, is trying to preserve the sanctity of federal law. California is even talking about secession and has been for a while. If you look at California as a modern-day slave state where the Democrats of today, just as the Democrats of the 1800s, they want to hold on to their slaves. In this case,
My friends, now I know Rush Limbaugh is a genius because he's saying what I said, a couple of weeks ago. California and the other sanctuary cities say we aren't going to enforce certain laws. We want to do what we want to do. And I said, well, great. What if there was a state that didn't want to enforce the anti-slavery law and wanted to reinstate slavery? Did they have a right to do what they want to do? Obviously, they don't. And obviously, the people running California are not only nitwits, but criminals.
they want to hold on to their illegals so they can get their grass mowed. Many of them can't read or write. They work cheap, can't take care of themselves. In this case, they don't mind being slaves. They're happy. Not a pure analogy, but it was suffice. And Jerry Brown wants a war. He's angry at American aggression. It's anti-Semitism. I understand the analogy is not perfect. That's why I didn't call it an analogy. I said the similarities are eerie. During the Civil War, the Southerners called it the War of Northern Aggression. The government, the North, would not leave them alone and let them run their affairs the way they wanted. And one of the things they wanted was to maintain slavery. You can't go to a sanctuary state like California. They are outward defiance of federal will. They are proclaiming their defiance of federal law. Governor Brown actually said that Jeff Sessions showed up yesterday wanting a war. He accused the governor and Sessions of coming out and using aggression. This is excuses that protect nobody cared about people. What's in it for them to have a bunch of illegals, including the criminal running around the state?
Well, obviously, and we're about to hit a commercial break, obviously, is that they figure these people are going to be at the bottom or near the bottom of the economic rung, and they will need government. And since the Democratic Party is the party of handouts and free stuff and welfare, they will need the Democrat Party. They'll vote Democrat, and the Democrats will have power forever. That's what it is, bottom line. I will take a break and we'll wrap the week up right here on Real Truth.
Article 4. The right of the people to be secure in their houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall be issued but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the places to be searched and the persons or things to be seized.
The Lord brings the counsel of the nations to nothing. He makes the plans of the people of no effect. The counsel of the Lord stands forever, the plans of his heart to all generations. Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord, the people he has chosen as his own inheritance. Psalm 33, verses 10 through 12.
Chaplain Collins LLC salutes our emergency first responders for their professionalism, commitment, and bravery. They're willing to put their lives on the line for us with little or no thanks. So let's all take the time to thank our first responders for all they do for us. Also thanking our veterans for the sacrifice they made for our freedom. This message is from Chaplain Collins LLC, with 2 locations in Denver and Fort Collins, serving the community for over 15 years. Visit them online at chapelcollins.com. Piccolos Restaurant in Denver reminds us that over 750,000 criminals were missing last year. Over 58,000 of these were abducted by non-family members. Keep an eye out for youngsters in play. If you see anything suspicious, contact the authorities immediately. This message from Piccolos Restaurant in Denver is not only the best Italian community, it's the people who care. Give them a call at 303-757-5166. 303-757-5166. Piccolos.
Item from Breitbart. Youth in the United Kingdom are among the least religious in post-Christian Europe, with some 70% self-identifying as having, quote, no religion, according to a new report. Religion in Europe is, quote, moribund, said Stephen Bullivant, the author of a report titled Europe's Young Adults in Religion. Quote, with some notable exceptions, young adults increasingly are not identifying with or practicing religion, said Bullivant, a professor of theology and the sociology of religion at St. Mary's University in London. My friends, the less religious Jews and Christians get, the worse the world gets. Item also from Breitbart. We buckled, said Representative Dave Brett of Congressional Republicans' negotiations on Capitol Hill regarding a $1.3 trillion omnibus appropriations bill that, by the way, passed the House today. Yeah. So this guy was interviewed, and he said, Schumer got his tunnel, we got a pittance for the wall. The Republicans are the most pathetic politicians I've ever seen in my life. They are in the majority. They've got all 3 facets of government, and they are always bent over forwards in front of the Democrats. Item from McClatchy, D.C. With Congress teetering on the brink of its 3rd government shutdown in 3 months, Senator Rand Paul still hasn't seen the details of a new budget bill that's likely to be 1,000 pages long, and he's not pleased. Unquote. Neither am I. Item from the Associated Press. Whether Royal, Charlie, or Salem, Schuyler, Justice, or Oakley, unisex names for babies are on the rise among parents more willing than ever to embrace the possibility of gender fluidity in their children and attempt to head off sexism on their behalf. We're definitely seeing more conversation today around the distinction of a truly gender-neutral name, said Linda Murray, global editor-in-chief of BabyCenter.com. This generation is truly interested in gender-neutral names. Unquote. My friends, gelding boys is not going to make the world better. Item from CBC. A federal cabinet minister in Canada says a directive to Service Canada agents telling them to use gender-neutral language such as parent instead of mother or father when speaking to the public was badly worded and will be corrected. Unquote. My friends, in Canada, you can't say mother, you can't say father. Welcome to PC culture. Item by Ben Shapiro at the Daily Wire. According to the Centers for Disease Control, youth suicide is in the midst of a precipitous and frightening rise. Between 2006 and 16, suicides by white children between the ages of 10 and 17 skyrocketed 70%. While black children are less likely than white children to kill themselves, their suicide rate also jumped by 77%. As the Blaze points out, CNN reported last year the suicide rate among girls between the ages of 15 and 19 rose to a 40-year high in 2015. Unquote. My friends, do you think maybe, possibly, perhaps, we're doing something wrong when it comes to raising our children? You think maybe? Could it be? Is it possible? I'm a baby boomer, and I'm here to tell you my generation has been the absolute worst as far as raising children. Now the millennials are starting to raise children, and they look like they're going to outstrip us as far as brainless stewardship of an entire generation. I hate to leave you on that note, my friends, but I'm going to do so because we are out of time. I will be back on Monday, and we'll tackle a whole new menu of fiascos and outrages because that's what we do here on Real Truth as we make our way towards August when we'll celebrate 10 years on the air. I know it doesn't seem possible, but it is. And as the music rises to a crescendo, I will tell you that I'll be back on Monday. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay angry. Bye, everybody.